It's Monday, May 21st, and I'm your host, Paula Hersey. On today's show, students take flight at Cape Cod Community College, we find a quiet corner to talk at the Cotuit Library, and we meet two Youth Commission members doing good deeds in the community. Now, here's some news you can use. Lenore Lyons is Barnstable's first hometown community hero to highlight the good works people in the town of Barnstable are doing, especially through programs that emphasize positive reinforcement with children. Town Councilor Jen Cullum proposed the award as a way for the Town Council to reconnect with the community. Town Councilor Britt Biedenbetter nominated Lenore Lyons of the Key Idea, Inc. Both simple and profound, the Key Idea was designed to be accessible to all. Since the Key Idea began in 2015, nearly 6,000 adults and children have participated in this unique art and writing project where everyone of every age uses the same materials and does the same exact project. A national exhibit of Key stories created by thousands of children ages 5 to 18 from across the United States will be at the Cultural Center of Cape Cod from July 19th to August 5th. For more information on the Key Idea, visit www.thekeyidea.org. Congratulations, Lenore. More road construction. The Department of Public Works will be performing milling and paving operations on various sections of Route 132 between Airport Rotary and the Beers' Way intersection beginning on Tuesday, May 22nd. Failed sections of the pavement will be removed and replaced with new asphalt pavement. Work is expected to be completed by Thursday, May 24th, weather permitting. DPW Director Dan Santos shared that the Hyannis water system received state recognition during Thursday night's Town Council meeting. DPW Director Dan Santos shared the news of the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection recent recognition for outstanding performance in 2017 for the efforts on long-term planning to improve the Hyannis water system, changing plans to mitigate emerging contaminants, and for planning, financing, and constructing corrective measures. Cape Cod Community President John Cox joined us in studio to wrap up the academic year at the college and to share a new partnership with Bridgewater State. A special guest here in our studio, Dr. Cox from Cape Cod Community College. Lots to talk about. College is wrapping up for the season, but you've got some announcements to make.
We do. Actually, as we wrap up this semester, we have over 600 students that are ready to graduate this year.
Wow. That's actually very, very good. You said enrollment was down a few years ago, and now we're seeing an uptick.
No, we're seeing also that people are completing what they start. They've been at it for a while. They're completing their degrees and their certificates, and they're moving on. And part of this is driven by the Commonwealth Commitment, which is that effort that's been cast out there among all 29 higher education institutions and public higher education in Massachusetts, where students who are on a full-time basis can qualify for a 10% rebate every semester, and the four-year school that our students are transferring to will hold the tuition while they're in this line for completing their bachelor's degree.
That's fantastic.
It's excellent.
Speaking of excellence, the evening of excellence. That
wow.
Must make you so
Perfect.
proud. As the president, I know, good segue, huh?
Yeah, wow. Who writes your script? Anyway, actually, the Evening of Excellence is a tremendous event. It's put on through our Educational Foundation and through the generosity of many people over an extended period of time. We're awarding over $200,000 in grants and scholarships to our students, both returning students and graduates who will go on to other studies.
That's fantastic. What a great evening that is, too.
It is. Yep. It is.
Excellent. And then Project Forward?
Yes. Project Forward will be having their graduation. Actually, by the time we're seeing this, the graduation is over, and the governor was on hand to congratulate the students.
And that's a fantastic program in conjunction with Riverview School and some other schools?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, we had a few students of those at the Media Center. They were great.
Yeah, this year we're looking at upwards to 60 students will be participating in that event.
Great. And then your commencement, big news. You've got a speaker that's a local boy.
Graduate of Cape Cod
And
Community
a graduate
College.
of Cape Cod Community College. Who is it?
Come on.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Timothy Kelly from
Tim Kelly, NECN, yes. Our meteorologist who has graduated in the mid-'80s is coming back to impart wisdom and weather advice to the college community.
And commencement's at?
It's on the 24th,
right?
And it starts at 4 p.m. It's in the Melody Tent.
Right. So beware, folks, on West Main Street for those
yeah, it'll
those
tend to
traffic
it'll
jams.
get a little crowded, and
Right.
it'll be crowded before and after, but it's a temporary fix.
Right. And what a wonderful event that is, with all the families and friends that are able to come in and see the community college students work enormously hard to get their degrees.
It truly is. It's a monumental event in many people's lives and their families and their friends that have supported the students along the way. And it really gives us the evening to highlight several of those students and to recognize every student who has completed their degree and have their families and their friends on hand to celebrate in that.
That's great. And then we also have 29 Who Shine.
The 29 Who Shine is a event that's been going on for almost a decade now, where each of the public higher ed institutions selects a student who represents the body of the whole, so to speak, in terms of not only the academic piece, but being involved in the community and activities related to the field of study. And this year we were delighted to have Erica Perini, one of the members of our first graduating classes in the aviation maintenance program. She was selected and she was honored with the governor, and will complete her associate's degree this year and is actually working locally at Cape Air.
Wow. And now we'll fly right in. You have some avionics and aviation news with the collaboration with Bridgewater State.
Flying right in. I gotta get to know your script writer here. You know? We're delighted to announce that through a collaboration with Bridgewater State University, beginning in the fall, we will be able to offer our students in the aviation maintenance program student housing on the campus of Bridgewater State. It's about 30 minutes away by vehicle, but certainly a reasonable commute. And it gives us the ability to attract students from a broader region from across the state that are very much interested in the aviation maintenance program. Because the one piece that we have found is it's not a program that's easily replicated. It's sort of expensive to start, and there's a lot of regulations to adhere to. So we've broadened our base. We have articulation agreements with several other community colleges, and we're really able to house students coming in from afar.
And that's important, especially for that community college student who didn't think that they were going to go and stay at a campus somewhere. This is housing, it's secure, it's safe, and they can get to and from the school easily.
Much so. Very much so. And when you look at the composition of the students currently in our class, with many of them coming from across the Cape, it would be of benefit to them as well.
Fantastic.
Truly.
So we'll wrap up with a little bit of reading. You've got an event coming up. You're going to do different types of series with folks that are writing books.
We're starting an initiative with our bookstore provider, Follett, and we're trying to highlight local authors. And beginning in June, on June 7th at 11 a.m., we'll be hosting Dave Bushy, who has recently completed his book entitled The World Looked Away, which is sort of a different view of the aftermath of the Vietnam War. And he will have as a guest one of the principal people that he's talking about in the book at that event. And the proceeds from the event, the profits from the books that are sold, will be donated to the College Foundation to support the work of the college.
Oh, that's great.
truly.
Great, and
truly.
Dave Bushy is a very
great guy,
interesting man as well.
Yes.
So that sounds
Very
like a great
committed to the
series. So
college.
make sure you keep talking about this, and
I will.
you know, that's about all I have in the transcript.
Wow, you're good.
Thanks, Dr. Cox, for
My
joining us
pleasure.
today.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate
Thanks
it.
a lot.
Katuitt Library is a mecca for events this spring and summer. We met director Antonio Stevens to learn more about the Royston Nash Music Series and the many exciting upcoming events at the library. Our libraries are always the heart of the village, more so here right in Katuitt. I'm with Antonia Stevens. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm well. So Katuitt Library, really the heart of the village here in Katuitt.
Yes, absolutely.
And you're doing a lot of different events, some that have caught our eye right off the bat that we should talk about. Is Royston Nash, the Appreciation Series. This is the second year, I believe, right?
Yes, it is. We started at in November of 2016, and so we've gone through 1 year, and now we're sort of halfway through the second year of the series. It was started because when Mr. Nash died, we got a lot of memorial donations, and we decided that one of the best ways to honor him would be to use those monies to support a music series. So we applied for grants from the Mid-Cape Cultural Council and the Arts Foundation, and we were given those grants for both years. And then we also got money from the town's Kirkman Fund, and we just decided to put on a series that was about music, but not just about enjoying music. We wanted to have a didactic element to it, something that people would come and actually learn something about the music and maybe try a different genre. You know, so
Right.
we've had concerts, we've had lectures, we've had sort of hands-on demonstrations, and they've always had some element to teach people about the music style. We've also had documentaries and movies, and it's been really fun. We've gotten very good feedback about it.
Great. Well, give us a couple of them. I know you've got quite a few coming through the summer. You had one last week, but coming through the summer, you're going to have quite a few that people, and they're all varied.
Yeah, extremely varied. Some of the stuff that's coming up, one of the most exciting things is the Mini Jazz Festival, which will be in June. I believe it's June 9th and 10th. So we got some jazz artists who representing different styles of jazz. So we've got some more bluesy work, and the Wicked Trio is coming to do that, and we've got Latin jazz, Kareem Sanjagi and the Latin Jazz Band. And that's going to start on Friday after the Strawberry Supper at the Historical Society, and then also go Saturday evening as well. So that's really fun. That'll jazz is just such a great way to enjoy
It is, and those
summer
two groups,
afternoon.
I know Bert Jackson very well, and I know Kareem, and
Yeah.
they are just amazing jazz musicians,
Yeah, always
both
fun.
with different styles.
And then we've got Tara Murphy and the Cape Cod African Dance and Drum. They're going to come and do a drum circle workshop for all ages
wonderful.
in July. So that'll be great. So everybody will get a chance to actually play the drums and learn about it, not just listen to music. We have Bright Star Theater Troupe coming. They usually come in February for us and do a Black History Month. But this year we have them coming in the summer, and they're going to do American tales, and so they'll be singing in that, and you know that's always a little bit of a history lesson as well. And we've got the Cape Cod Chamber Music Festival. This was one of the groups that contacted us when they found out that we were doing the series and offered to bring something to us. They did last year. We had a lecture on Stone Age flutes, and this year I guess they have a program where they have two young musicians who play, and then there's a storyteller who tells the Very Hungry Caterpillar and Where the Wild Things Are.
Oh,
So
how fun is
it's
that?
for children, yeah. So those are just some of the things that are coming up in the summer, and basically when people, especially if people can do it for free, right? We've expended most of the funds that we got. So I mean, that was part of why we wanted to do it with funding, is because I think that it's important to pay musicians what they're really worth, and they're so often asked to do things for free. But if somebody does have something that they want to share, we're always happy to put stuff in that's outside of what we've kind of already scheduled.
That's fantastic. I mean, what a great summer of music.
Yeah, definitely.
So what else is going on in the library? We're not quite at the summer yet, so you've got events coming up,
Yeah.
I would imagine, for May and June.
Yep. So end of May, we've got Mark Wilkins, who is a local historian. He's done a lot of different positions around the Cape, and but he has been working on a lecture on the armistice and the Treaty of Versailles, the impact that had. So he always does wonderful historical talks. So any history buffs that are available for that, that's on May 26th on the Saturday. It's at 2 p.m. And then June is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so we have the Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition coming. They're going to be doing a talk, an information talk on, I believe it's Monday, June 4th. And then we're going to be showing a movie called Decoding Annie Parker on the 6th. And we'll have all sorts of information for the entire month on display. So that's kind of part of what's happening in June. And then, of course, the end of June is the kickoff for summer reading.
Right.
So that'll be great. There's always tons of stuff having to do with summer reading.
And talk a little bit about that summer reading program. I've been out of school for a couple of years. It's changed a little bit. It's a little bit more dynamic and interactive for kids to do summer reading now.
So basically the state comes up with a theme that libraries are encouraged to work around, and this year is Libraries Rock, which of course they do. That should be the theme every year. Right. And so we have some music programs that are going to be associated with that. Lenora Levine, our children's librarian, does a program for 8 weeks. Every Tuesday there's a specific program for the summer reading. And she's got some musicians lined up, but we've also decided to do a rock painting. You know, there's the different Kindness Rocks projects and things of that nature. So we have our favorite Easter bunny, Alice, is going to come, and she's going to do a rock painting workshop. And there, I believe the Woods Hole is coming to do marine mammal.
Oh, great.
Yep. And what else do we have? Oh yes, Maureen Carvin is going to be doing an art program with tiles. So there's a lot of different variations. And then the other part of that, of course, is, you know, you draw kids in to come to the programs, but what they are really doing is trying to read through the summer so that they don't lose, you know, some of the gains that they've made during the school year. So we've got a grant. The Barnstable Libraries get some funds from the Enoch Cobb Trust to purchase books for the Barnstable Schools summer reading list, and that includes ebooks. It includes audiobooks, so it doesn't just have to be, you know, physical books. Right. And the kids log how many hours they read, and they get prizes, and you know, it's a great way to maintain your literacy over the summer, but having a really good time with it, so it's not onerous the way having to do homework is. But
yeah, our summer reading program when I was a kid was a bookmobile.
Love that idea.
Remember that was how we got our books in the summer, is, you know, the diverse geography. The little van would pull up with all the different books, and I loved to read over the summer. So it's I think great programs. Libraries have changed a lot over the years. You guys are more of a destination of interactive and talks, music, so it's not just pulling a book off a shelf anymore.
And I just wanted to point out that there's a little free library at the end of the driveway there, so if you don't have a library card but you need a book, you can get that. And the Friends have a summer book sale in July, and then a Plant, Bake, and Treasure sale on May 26th before the talk. So you can go there and get your treasures and some food.
And some food. That's great. Thanks so much, Antonia.
You're welcome.
2 Barnstable High School students on the Youth Commission shared their vision and work with us and explained the importance of active youth participation in our town government.
Hi, I'm Matt McCauley from the Barnstable Youth Commission.
Hi, I'm Sean Dowling, also from the Barnstable Youth Commission.
So the Barnstable Youth Commission, primarily, it's titled as the voice of the youth. So in general, if anyone in the government is looking for the youth's opinion, they'll come to us. But we also do a lot of other youth-focused things, pretty much addressing the safety and the well-being of the youth in our community.
I got involved in the Youth Commission last year when Patty came up to me during a lifeguard interview, and she asked me and told me that I was making a good addition to the Barnstable Youth Commission, and I said I've never heard of it, but I'd like to try it out, and I joined in the summer and having a great year so far.
An older friend of mine, 2 years older, he's in college now, he was the chairman of the youth commission, so he was going to the meetings, and eventually he kind of looped me in, and I joined because I thought it was very interesting.
We recently just did the homeless count for the state, which is we went out, I believe it was last week sometime?
Yeah,
Last
Tuesday.
last Tuesday, and we went out to the skate park at the rec. We went to some of the baseball games behind the charter school, and then we went to the mall, and we've gone here, and where we handed out surveys to try and have students fill them out and kids, youth in the community fill them out, so that the state has information on who's homeless and who has a stable home, doesn't have a stable home, while remaining completely not having their names and stuff, so that it's completely confidential. So when we have this homeless survey, the state learns where financial aid should go in terms of people needing money for homes. Like if the state needs to give money to more soup kitchens and more houses just for the homeless to live in and have a stable home for the night, just especially for the youth, because they're relying on their parents, and their parents might need help too. So we just feel like it's important for the state to have the information so that the youth don't suffer.
Overall, I mean, we can't look through the results, of course, because they're all anonymous and confidential, but we really learned how the youth could be open to doing such a thing. I mean, it's kind of weird to see these random kids walk up to you and ask you to fill out a survey, and it's 4 pages long, so it's not, you're sitting there for a few minutes. And, people were willing to do it as long as we said, this will help our community. People just were very receptive to that. So One Love, it's actually based off the One Love Foundation, and they focus on relationships that are going bad, or kind of how do you identify a relationship that could go wrong, and what to do when you are in one, or if a friend of yours or someone you know at all is in that situation. And what we're looking to do now is we have an event for seniors, the class that is graduating this year, on May 31st, where they will be going through this seminar, this workshop where they watch the video, they have discussions, and they pretty much learn about these signals. And on May 23rd, we also have a Q&A for any parents and the public who would like to know more about this. Well, it's the sort of thing that, as much as we may see it, we may not see it, it's the kind of thing that people don't come forward with. But even if no one at Barnstable was facing these issues, we know that heading into college or heading into just anything in life after high school, it's important to have these skills where you can deal with real issues, the real problems that you will face when you're heading forward in life.
If you want to be involved with the Youth Commission, come up to one of our commissioners or go up to Patty, she's always at the rec, and we'll give you a form to fill out so that you can fill it out, and then you give it to someone at the town clerk's office.
Yes.
Right? You give it to the town clerk's office, and then you will have an interview with the town council, and they will speak your name a few times at some of the meetings, and then you'll get in. And we have 13 spots on the Youth Commission. We have a couple seniors graduating, and a few spots are still open.
Yep. We definitely have room for more. And you can also go online on the Town of Barnstable website. It's important because the youth is just as much a part of the community as anyone else. We are just as important. I mean, some would say that we are even more important in some ways, because we are the future we are the next generation. We kind of will be leading this country next. So by giving us a good support system, whether it be through the town of Barnstable and through the funding and the economics of it all, or just simply being there to support us, it helps us prosper later.
we need a voice. There's some towns that don't have something like this. They don't have a youth commission, and the parents are making decisions for them, thinking that it's what's best for their kids as opposed to having their kids say what's best for themselves. So that we have a voice, we can communicate to the state legislature, to the town, just so that we're supported and we can support ourselves.
Here's a look at a few items on the community calendar. The Cape Cod chapter of the Massachusetts Association of the Public Health Nurses and Cape and Islands Medical Reserve Corps are presenting a Stop the Bleed training session to teach people how to stop bleeding in an emergency and save lives using the Combat Application Tourniquet. The training session will take place on Wednesday, May 23rd from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the Harborview Conference Room, Barnstable County Department of Health and Environment in Barnstable Village on Route 6A. If you would like to attend, please RSVP at 508-375-6617. There's also a blood drive. Blood is life, and the need is constant. All the blood collected at this blood drive will be used here at either Cape Cod Hospital or Falmouth Hospital. It's Tuesday, May 29th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Barnstable Police Department, 1200 Finney's Lane, Hyannis. I'm Paula Hersey, and thank you for watching Barnstable Today.